Our lovely guest here. So Catherine, thanks so much again for being here. Everyone heard what I had to say, sort of the introduction on you, but start us again just a little bit about your farm and who we've got here.
So I'm a fifth-generation farmer there in Hastings. We raise Charolais beef cattle and replacement dairy heifers. My family started the Charolais cattle in the 50s, and we are the oldest breeders east of the Mississippi.
Wow, that is quite an impressive resume there. And who are these guys that we're looking at that you brought along?
So these are some of my program animals that I use. So these are some chicks. They're silky chicks. I actually hatched them out to use at the Barry County Fair. They had a children's day, so the kids got to come through and actually get to hold the chicks and pet the chicks and see an egg display. And then this is Bunny Boo. She is
so sweet.
One of my newest additions to our programming, and she's just kind of a fun way for kids to be able to interact and actually pet an animal and just talk a little bit about rabbitry.
Yeah, and so your big thing is you grew up on a farm. You're a very proud farmer here from our area, which we have so many here in Michigan, but you really work nowadays to educate other people about the importance of farming, especially on the level of young children, which is so cool and so important. And so we were mentioning how, there's so many books out there about farming in one way or another. A lot of them not very accurate, don't look like what your life growing up looked like. So you just published this book here, The Hibernating Combine. Tell me a little bit about what this is about and what makes this so accurate when it talks about the industry.
So the Hibernating Combine is about what combines do after harvest. It started one day, my son asked me, he said, "Mom, where'd the combines go?" And I know because I grew up on a farm, but he loves wild animals. So I said, they're hibernating just like the bears do. And that was the foundation of the story. And then it evolved into how farmers care for their equipment. There's a page in there dedicated to road safety specifically. It's seatbelts on and lights aglow, slow and steady towards the farm we go, because there are so many accidents in the fall, especially with the large farm equipment. So I just wanted that to have the opportunity of a talking point. But I also want people to know that farmers take care of their equipment similarly to how they take care of their land, which is in great detail. Equipment is expensive, land is expensive, and farmers are trying to feed so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. And, your book is just kind of your latest achievement, but tell me a little bit about the education and then the training that you do to educate people about farming and how vital it is here in Michigan and across the country.
So my involvement with ag education actually started when I was in middle school. I would go to my county farm or my county fairgrounds, and we would teach third graders about agriculture. They would come out and they would spend the whole day, and they still do. So I did that middle school, high school. I was in FFA, I was in 4-H. And then upon graduation, I joined my county farm bureau. So I chair our promotion and education committee, and that allows me to oversee the planning of the Ag Day there at the fairgrounds. And then in 2021, I competed in a pageant, and we needed a platform, which became an earful of agriculture for myself. It's amazing if you have a title that you can get into more schools. Yeah. So I was able to read ag accurate books to over 600 students in about 9 months.
Wow.
And then an earful of agriculture kind of sat aside when I was done with my reign, and then I needed a company to be able to publish under and do all of these programs under, and so now it is my official business.
I love it. And you are obviously so passionate about all of this. For folks who are maybe quite removed from the farming industry, maybe they've never even been on a farm, why is it so important, especially young people, but any age, that people are knowledgeable about this industry? What kind of lights your fire in sharing this passion with other people?
I think the appreciation for where your food and your clothes come from, or your crayons. Crayons are made from soybeans. Mm-hmm. They're also working on making Goodyear tires out of soybean oil. Farming has so much to do with our everyday life in aspects that we don't see. And I think that that's truly important. I also think that kids can be involved in agriculture in simple ways. They can do 4-H even if they don't live on a farm. They can do crafts, they can do rabbits, they can do chickens, they can show dogs, and there's just so many opportunities for kids to get more exposure that they might not necessarily think of.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, so crucial in so many different things that we all deal with, whether we're, living on a farm or not. We're all eating and using and buying products that came ultimately from a farm. I know you have a special friend with you as well that you wanted to introduce. Yes. I don't want to forget about her.
So this is my new friend. Her name is Lucy. She actually came to me from Iowa today. So there is a club in Iowa that is 3rd and 4th graders that are interested in agriculture. So Lucy is from my friend Lauren, and she is going to learn about how I work in the agriculture industry. And there are other other friends around the world that will come back to the club and be able to teach those kids about it. So Lucy is here, and this is her debut.
She's the refurbished Flat Stanley of my generation.
She certainly is.
I love it. I love it. Okay, if folks want to read your book or get their hands on your book, where can they get it?
It's exclusively available on my website, which is anearfulofagriculture.com, and they can have it signed to anybody that they want. They all come signed. I package all the orders myself, make sure that the books are of good quality, and they're printed in the United States, which is super important, especially as a farmer. We want those American-made products. So.
Absolutely. Anything else just about your platform, your business, publishing this book that you want families out there to know? Anything that I've missed?
I think it's worth mentioning that even though I'm in Hastings, I do travel, and I'm happy to bring animals or programs or books into libraries. We do a lot of summer reading programs where we take whatever the program is, even if it's not an ag-based program, and tie it into agriculture. So that is something that is fun in what we do when we're not in the fall time.
Well, this is such an important part of life here for everyone in Michigan and across the country. So I so appreciate you coming in, being so passionate about this, thinking of ways outside of the box with animals and the book that you published to just spread your passion and talk to people about how important this is, because it really is so crucial. So thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. We're going to let you and your troop here carry on, but thanks so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a quick break.